Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss one of the most fundamental and important techniques of object oriented programming and designing is inheritance. Okay. We use it to organize and create reusable classes. We can reuse the class, we can reuse the code using inheritance. It focuses on deriving new class from existing class, the protected modifiers, creating class hierarchies. It means it's based on the parent class and the child class and all. Abstract classes, indirect visibility of inherited numbers, designing for inheritance. So in the next slide, uh, there is there are few important points about inheritance. That is, it allow a software developer to derive new class from an existing one, where the existing class is called the parent class or the superclass or base class, and the derived class is called the child class or subclass. As the name implies, the child inherit characteristic of the parent. It means the child class inherit or access the characteristic of the parent class. That's why the child class inherit the methods and the data defined by the parent class. It means child class access all the properties, all the methods and all the data members which are defined in our parent class. So now there is, if we have two classes such as child class and parent class, then we must have some relations. So inheritance relationships are shown in a UML diagram using a solid arrow. What is solid arrow? Just wait for a few minutes. Using a solid arrow with an unfilled triangular arrowhead that pointing to the parent class. It means the arrowhead pointing to the parent class. We have example. It means we have two different classes, vehicle and the car. Okay. So here one class is a parent class and second class is a child class. So car is a part of vehicle, and the car can access properties and behavior of vehicle. So here vehicle is a parent class and car is a child class. So there is a relationship between the both classes. So proper inheritance creates an is a relationship, meaning the child is a more a specific version of the parent. Okay, it means child, we are deriving the child class and it is more a specific version of our parent class. Now a programmer can tailor a derived class as needed by adding new variables or methods or by modifying the inherited ones. Software reuse is a fundamental benefit of inheritance. It means if you are using inheritance, you are reusing the code, you are reusing the software. Whenever we upgrade our software, whenever there is new updation in our software, then it is based on the parent class. We are only, or the developer or programmer are only adding the new features to it. Okay, on the base of the, or on the basis of the existing methods and the existing functionalities. So we can say software reuse is a fundamental benefit of inheritance. By using existing software components to create new one, we capitalize on all the effort that went into the design, implementation and testing of the existing software. We can create a new software using existing software components, and we access all effort that went into design, implement, testing of the existing software. Now there is one of the most important point in Java, that how we can derive our subclass. So in Java, we use the reserved keyword such as extends to establish an inheritance relationship. It means using extends keyword, we can use inheritance. Here is a example where I am providing a code class car extends vehicle and the body of the class car. So we are why because we are extending vehicle class, so vehicle is a parent class and child is our car is our child class. So there is example of inheritance where I am creating a class using book. Inside the class book, I am providing some protected data member and public set page methods. Okay, this is another example of uh, inheritance where I am providing a dictionary class, and this dictionary class extends the class book. It means this class extend all the features of the book class. Inside this class, there is a data member integer. It is a data type and it is of private type. So it print a message using both local and inherited value. And I have a method that is compute radio. Its return type is a double, and the another method is set definition and get definition. So set definition is for providing the definition, and get definition is for operating printing the information. Next, we have another example where we have class words. Inside the words, I am creating the object of the dictionary class and printing all the um, methods or all the required fields. Okay. Now there is a point that why we use protected modifier. So visibility modifier affect the way that class members can be used in a child class. Variables and methods which declared with private visibility cannot be referenced by name in a child class. They can be referenced in the child class if they are declared with public visibility. But public variable violate the principle of encapsulation, because we know encapsulation is a part where we can provide the security. It binds the data members and the method into one unit. So when we use public, it means it violates the principle of it. And there is a third visibility modifier that helps in inheritance situation. The protected modifier allows a child class to reference a variable or method directly in the child class. It provides more encapsulation than public visibility, but is not as tightly encapsulated as private visibility. So a protected variable is visible to any class in the same package as the parent class. Now there is one another important topic is a super. What is a super reference? The constructors are not inherited even though they have public visibility. Constructors have the public visibility, but we cannot inherit it. Yet we often want to use the parent constructor to set up the parent's part of the object. The super reference can be used to refer to the parent class and often is used to invoke the parent's constructor. So when we want to inherit the constructor, we use a super reference for it. A child constructor is responsible for calling the parent's constructor. That the first line of the child constructor should be the super reference to call the parent's constructor. The super reference can also be used to reference other variables and methods defined in the parent class. After the super reference, we have so many types of inheritance, such as single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, and the multiple inheritance. So if we are talking about the Java programming language, Java support single inheritance, multi-level inheritance, but it never support multiple inheritance directly. So in this slide, I mentioned in the first point that Java supports single inheritance, meaning that a derived class can have only one parent class. In the case of multiple inheritance, there are more than one parent class we use with derived class. So multiple inheritance allow a class to be derived from two or more classes, inheriting the member of all parents. Collisions such as the same variable name in two parents have to be resolved. Java does not support multiple inheritance directly. In most cases, the use of interface gives us aspect of multiple inheritance without the overhead. It means when if we want to access or use the multiple inheritance, we must go through the interface. And directly, Java never support multiple inheritance. Okay, so after that, we will try to read the inheritance and the concept of overriding and the overloading. Okay, if there is any confusion or any question, you can ask it directly. Okay, thank you.